Next fans, and welcome back to the Rough 'em Up podcast. I'm your host, Colin Watkins, and this is a big video. Actually, a groundbreaking video because this is our first time analysis, really, of the 2024 UFL Houston Roughnecks roster. Now, things look a little different, alright, because we had the dispersal draft this past weekend. Pretty much, long story short, all the teams that didn't make the UFL, they put their players in a big draft pool, and the UFL teams that did make it, pick and choose who they wanted. So that means the Houston Roughnecks, we got some dogs, especially some dogs on defense. Our defense is stacked. You're going to want to watch this whole video because I'm going to be talking about some guys that you're going to be hearing about every single week you watch the Houston Roughnecks, and you're going to want to hear it here first. So, and while you're here, hit that subscribe button, especially if you're a Roughnecks fan. #1 Roughnecks podcast on YouTube. And like the video while you're down there as well, because we'll also be doing UFL content. And me and my guy Arlington this season will be doing weekly breakdowns, analysis episodes that we did last season as well. So I'm really excited for that. And as well, shout out to PFN, the Pro Football Newsroom, led by my guy, the Ref. Man, I've been talking with him as of late, and we're sort of teaming up a bit. They do some good stuff over there. He also runs the UFL podcast. So if you're looking for more general UFL long-form podcasting, the UFL podcast led by my guy, the Ref, he's your guy to look for. All right, he's your guy to look at. So shout out to Pro Football Newsroom. Go check them out. Just search them up in the search bar, and that's all you need this season for the UFL because they cover everything. They have news articles, podcasts, videos. You can find my videos on there now. Everything you need, one-stop shop at Pro Football Newsroom. So go check them out and thank the Ref once again. Now, we're just going to get straight into it. So first and foremost, to understand who we got in the dispersal draft, we're going to be looking at who's returning from the Houston Gamblers to now the Houston Roughnecks. So first and foremost, Mark Thompson, our running back, our star running back, he is back, ladies and gentlemen. The all-USFL player, he holds the modern-day USFL rushing. He's the best rusher in USFL modern history. Offensive Player of the Year last year. Yeah, him. He is back on the team. Thank the Lord, because in my opinion, I'd love to do a tier list. You have an S tier when it comes to spring football running backs. You only have two guys, and it's Abram Smith and Mark Thompson. We've only seen one season of Abram Smith. We've seen 2 seasons of Mark Thompson, and he's done nothing but just blow my mind. So we have Mark Thompson back. He's going to come in clutch later because you're going to see that Curtis Johnson is sort of making this team around Mark Thompson so that we're going to be able to run the ball unmatched very, very well when it comes to running the ball. Some of y'all want to know the quarterback situation. I'm just telling y'all now, we did not pick up a quarterback in this most recent dispersal draft. It may change. We have a dispersal draft next week that is open to everybody. A very open dispersal draft, so we don't know who's going to be in that player pool. Right now we have Kenji Bahar and Jarrett Gorantano. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Gorantano, I believe he spent his most recent year at Washington State, but other than that, he played at Tennessee. I'd put money that neither of those guys are going to play. I hope. That sounds really bad. I know there's quarterback talent in this new condensed league, and I'm going to be very surprised if either of these guys get a starting role over the quarterbacks that I know are out there. Jordan Teamu and Quentin Dormady. Just naming two. I want those guys. I want either Teamu or Quentin Dormady because they both had great years last year. This is huge. Ball State Justin Hall is back, and he led the team last season in receptions, yards, touchdowns. He's back. A huge return of a great player. I'm glad we're keeping the receiving core relatively in check, even though we were mostly a running team last season. We have Isaiah Chambers back. He led the team in sacks. And we also have Kalon Tolson back. I believe I'm saying that right. The linebacker who led the team in tackles as well. So he is back. Majority of the big players of the Houston Gamblers who went 5-5 last year, they are coming back, and that's huge, especially, and Chris Odom, he's back too, the 2022 USFL Defensive Player of the Year. He is back as well, so this is very exciting, but it only gets more exciting. Now we're going to talk about the guys that we got. So just FYI, this is not everyone that we got. We got a buttload of people. Of players, but I'm going to give y'all the rundown on who I believe are the most important players we picked up and players that are probably going to stick around for the whole season because some of these guys that we picked up, they may get cut. Who knows? It's spring football. You really don't know how the landscape is going to change. But starting off, we picked up, I'm so happy to say this, Reuben Foster, an outside linebacker who played for the Pittsburgh Maulers last season. He is from good old Alabama with my guy Nick Saban. And now Reuben Foster, if you are unfamiliar with him, something tells me if you follow football a lot, you may know Reuben Foster, but he was a highly sought-after linebacker, both in high school, college, and even sort of in the pros. He was drafted in the first round, 31st overall pick. He went to the 49ers in 2017. He played with them for a little bit, got into some trouble legally, whatever. I'm not going to speak on that because I don't know enough details on it. It's not important. Then he played for the Washington football team in 2020, but then COVID hit, and then he got injured. He never really got a full season except his rookie season with the 49ers, and I saw his tape. His tape looks phenomenal. His highlights, whew, he can hit hard, and he's fast. And I heard he got big too, a good big too. In the USFL last year with the Maulers, he put up 53 tackles, 1 interception, and a half a sack. He's 29, 6'1", 228 pounds. I'm excited for him. I feel like he hasn't really gotten a true shot. Last year, you could say was a true shot, and he was good last year. The Pittsburgh Maulers defense was very good last year. I don't think that was even Reuben Foster at his best. I think this year we will see Reuben Foster at his best. After playing last year, immediately going and playing this year, he's going to be warmed up. He's going to be used to playing, and the sky is the limit for this guy. I heard other people say too, and I believe it too, that Reuben Foster may be a star defensive player in the league as a whole, and that's saying a lot. And he even won Defensive Player of the Week last year with the Maulers at some point, which is very impressive because there were some good defenses in the USFL last year. So Reuben Foster, outside linebacker, please keep an eye out for him. He's going to be playing a lot. He's an NFL level guy that we got, so great pickup there. Next, we're going to be going to a wide receiver. Now, this is the only offensive skill position that we picked up, actually. So, very interesting. But we got Isaiah Henny, I believe it is. I believe, when I watched in 2022, I believe that's how you say it. But he played for the Pittsburgh Maulers both in 22 and 23. Undrafted out of Sacramento State. And listen to this. So, he's 26. 5'7", 171 pounds. I'm bigger than him. Way less talented. I could never do what he does, though. So all respect to him. That's not a dig at him at all. But I'm a short guy. And he's even shorter. But, ooh, he has blazing speed. He reminds me a lot of Bryson Allen last year. If you follow the Houston Roughnecks, Bryson Allen. I don't know how much Isaiah is going to be in our passing game. I hope he's in there a lot. He could be a really good deep threat, also depending on who our quarterback is. But he's definitely going to be a returner. He led the league in punt return yards. I'd love to see him even do kick returns as well. Or maybe he did. I didn't check. But I don't know. In a run-heavy offense, it may be tough for him to get a lot of looks. But it's always good to have that option. Always good to have that option of a guy who can go deep and get some big yardage. So I'm expecting that from Isaiah Henny. And he was a top 10. The more I think about it, I wrote it down right here. He was a top 10 wide receiver in the USFL last year. He was. He put up 474 yards on 46 receptions and 3 touchdowns on a run-heavy team. That's sounds good to me. Or, I'm sorry, not a run-heavy team. The Maulers. He was on the Maulers last year, not on the Gamblers. Got it. But he still put up 474 yards, 46 receptions, 3 touchdowns. Still impressive either way. Really excited to see what he does. He may even be a wide receiver 1, depending on how well Justin Hall does. But Hall had a great season last year. Now we're moving on to my favorite pick of this draft. My personal favorite. From the Philadelphia Stars. Defensive end, the man himself, Adam Rodriguez. Yes, Adam Rodriguez out of Weber State, 6'2", 245 pounds. All USFL player last year. Put up 27 tackles, 6 sacks. Get this. He holds the record, modern-day USFL record, for sacks. No other player that's played in the current-day USFL has had more sacks than Adam Rodriguez. And we got him. Do you know who else we have? We have Chris Odom, the 2022 Defensive Player of the Year. This defense just keeps getting better and better. As well, we have Mr. Reuben as well.
Have you ever done a recording where your guest just
unfair? And I was looking at footage of Adam Rodriguez. He is a stud. I haven't seen a player get off the edge that quick. Really, ever. It was really impressive. Look up Adam Rodriguez, his highlights, and you're going to know what I mean. He is going to be an issue for other teams. He gets to the quarterback in a blink of an eye. Every single time. Every single time. The sky is the limit for Adam. I know I said that about Reuben, but really, Adam Rodriguez, he has the potential to really lead this team in sacks. No doubt. I think he will lead the team in sacks. Possibly even the whole league. Possibly. But Adam Rodriguez from the Philadelphia Stars, shout out to him. I am pumped for him. You're going to be hearing about him a lot. I just hope he doesn't get injured or something. I hope none of these guys get injured. But yeah, having an all USFL guy, you can't go wrong with that. Great pick with Adam Rodriguez. Next, we'll go with Toby Johnson, defensive tackle from the New Jersey Generals. He is out of Georgia. Now, Toby, he's 32, so a little bit older, but he's 6'4", 320 pounds, so he's big guy. You love to see it. He put up 42 tackles and 4 sacks last year. He is a 2-time All-USFL player. He got a All-USFL honor in 2022 as well. Played both seasons with New Jersey. This is an elite pickup. People in the USFL, I don't know who, I think probably fans and players both. Toby Johnson is known as the #1 defender against the run in all of the USFL in his 2 years. He's the #1 defender against the run. And we got Adam Rodriguez and Reuben Foster. This keeps getting better and better. Are y'all seeing what I mean now with this defense is just going to be insane? I was looking up footage of him. He just pushes the O-line. He doesn't care who it is. He just push. Next thing you know, the quarterback has 2 guys in the pocket. There was a play I saw where he pushed a guy so far in the pocket, the quarterback was going to throw. Toby just put his hand up, and the ball just got blocked. He was that close. He puts insane pressure on the pocket every single time he is playing, and that's great against the run and as well as the pass. So Toby Johnson out of Georgia. Oh, man. I am just so excited about this team. I am so excited about this defense. This defense is going to be crazy. And sort of the last player we're going to deep dive into is Reggie Howard Jr., defensive tackle from the New Orleans Breakers. He's 27, 6'3", 290 pounds. He was a 2022 All-USFL team guy for the Tampa Bay Bandits. He also played for the LA Wildcats in the XFL in 2020. Rest in peace to the XFL 2020 and the LA Wildcats. He was awesome in 22 in Tampa when he was with the Bandits. He was very well. He anchored that defense for Todd Haley. His stats slowed down a bit in 23, but he's still an elite level threat. If he can get back to how he was in 2022, we're going to have no issues. We're going to have a lot of just defensive battles. For all I know, some of these guys may beat each other out and get cut, for all I know. I wish I could predict the future, but I can't. But this Reggie Howard Jr. will definitely bolster this defense. Whether he gets a starting job or is only in on certain parts of the game, we'll still take him. We will take any All-USFL player we can get. He will definitely help out. And to remember, we already have Chris Odom. We already have Chris Odom, the 2022 USFL player, defensive player of the year. I am mind blown on this defense. So that's about it for the defensive side of the ball. Now I'm going to go over a main guy that we got for our O-line to look out for. So we have Paul Adams, a offensive tackle from the New Orleans Breakers. 6'5", 317 pounds. He's a giant. He's all USFL. And he was part of a fantastic New Orleans Breakers offensive line that allowed Wes Hills, remember Wes Hills, to have a career year. He broke out because he, very talented, but he had a phenomenal O-line that helped him out. And you're going to see that we also got Jack Kramer from the Breakers and Marcus Tatum from the Breakers. So we have three guys from the New Orleans Breakers, which in my opinion, one of the best offenses in the USFL last year, on this team. And then now you just have to switch out Wes Hills for Mark Thompson. Yeah, it's an upgrade. That's how good Mark Thompson is. So the run game, like I said at the beginning of the video, clearly this team is preparing for a heavy defense with a solid, more than solid, elite level run game. And also our tight end situation is only backing that up. We picked up 3 new tight ends in the draft. Ryan Izzo from the Stars, Woody Brandon from the Generals, and Braden Bowman from the Generals. We already also, before then, we had 2 tight ends. So we have 5 in total now. This tells me, first of all, that we're going to be seeing a different offense than we did last year with the Roughnecks. As we know, AJ Smith and Wade Phillips is with the San Antonio Brahmas now. They didn't use tight ends. It was purely run and shoot. This offense might actually be the opposite of run and shoot now with all these tight ends on the team. Clearly, these guys, Ryan Izzo, he's really fast, but other than that, these tight ends are, I'm guessing, going to be used for blocking as well on passing downs to go out there and receive. But 5 tight ends on this roster, that's saying something. That's saying something. So, in conclusion, who do we have? So, we got 6 guys in the draft for the D-line. Ethan Westbrook is also another big player for us to watch. 6 guys for the D-line we got in this draft. We really stacked up on our O-line. I believe we got some other O-linemen as well. And besides Isaiah, Henny, we had no other offensive skill positions this draft. So clearly for this first stint of dispersal drafting, Curtis Johnson and company decided to go heavy on the defense and heavy on the running game. That sort of gives us a tip-off of what we can expect from this team. So again, this is all very fluid. This is a very fluid roster. A lot can change. It's spring football, right? We know that transactions is the name of the game, so for all we know, we could pick up Tom Brady the night before our opening kickoff. That's spring football about. It would not surprise me with how crazy this season, this offseason has been. And two, it's also important to know a fun little fact here that the Roughnecks. The Roughnecks picked up 9 all USFL/XFL, all XFL players, which is tied for first place. I forget who also picked up 9 all USFL/all XFL players. I forget. But we're tied for first in that, so we got guys who are proven. That makes me feel very happy. As much as I love taking risk, I think Curtis Johnson definitely took a safe route here with guys that have performed very well. I'm looking at Adam Rodriguez. I'm looking at Isaiah. I'm looking at Reuben Foster. These are NFL level guys, especially Foster. This guy could be in the NFL right now, I think. And Adam Rodriguez, Toby Johnson, that's going to be a sick 1-2 punch. You have Toby Johnson at the tackle and Rodriguez at the end. Game over. I think Mark Thompson's already been talking about how practice is going to be hell. It's going to be like actual games, which that's what we want. Only going to make Mark Thompson even better when he plays worse defenses. So that is all I have for y'all today. Looking through my notes, make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. I'll keep y'all updated. We're going to be getting more players. I believe it should be next week. You'll hear about more players that we got. I'll be keeping a close eye out on the quarterback situation. That's going to be a sort of the spotlight going forward. Now that we have a great defense and a great O-line, now we're going to have some fun with getting a quarterback, as well as sort of beefing up our secondary. I know the Gamblers last year did not have a good turnover. They didn't turn the ball over, or they didn't force turnovers. So hopefully we sort of beef up that secondary a bit more. I know the Stallions did with Channing Stribling. So I'm a little worried about that. I'm a little worried why we didn't beef up our secondary at all. But our trenches and our linebackers, they look great right now. I also want to see some wide receivers get picked up. As much as I love Isaiah and Justin Hall, I think we need about one more guy in there who can really tear up the gridiron. So I'll keep y'all updated. I should have a rankings video out very soon after this video releases. I know y'all love the rankings videos. And comment down below if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Yeah, that should be it. So I hope y'all have a great day. And remember, go Roughnecks, baby. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.